Hello, everyone. Welcome to Introduction to Webflow with JP Dionisio. So we're really happy that you're here. And if you would like to, only if you would like to, please comment where you are from the Philippines and if it's okay to speak in Tagalog. So could you please comment in the chat where you are in the Philippines and if it's okay to speak Tagalog so that we can speak in Tagalog if it's all right with you. Hi, don't be shy, guys. Okay, Irvin from Sorsogon, Nolly from Makati, Christian from Rizal, Albert from Bolinao, Sarel from Sorsogon, and Tagalog would be fine. Raven from Tarlac, Pauline from Las Piñas, JC from Bandaluyong. Okay, sorry, ang dami pala. Okay, so okay ba Tagalog, guys? Kung if Tagalog is not okay, please let us know so that we will not speak in Tagalog. So please tell us right now. Oh wow, Jasper from New York. Oh yay. Thank you everyone. So we have people from all over, from Bulacan, Las Piñas, Iloilo, Laguna, Ilocos Norte, Mandaluyong, Makati, Valenzuela, Davao, Cebu. Yeah, so we can use the Taglish. Okay, thank you. So if it's not all right to speak Tagalog, now is the best time to let us know so that we won't speak in Tagalog. Otherwise, the workshop will be in Taglish. So please let us know if it's not okay. English po. Alabo mo, Ray. Nakakainis si Ray. Hindi yan totoo. Okay. So, nag-joke lang si Ray. So, anyone else who wants us to speak in English, please let us know. And then, otherwise, Taglish tayo. Okay. Okay. So, for the newcomers, feel free to share where you are right now. And if it's okay to speak in Tagalog. Okay, so today, we're gonna talk a lot about Webflow, right? And as usual, we're giving away no-code PH shirts. So to win, you just have to participate in the Webflow trivia. And it pabilisan ng type, okay? So kung mabilis kayo mag-type, mabilis, mananalo kayo ng no-code PH shirt. So, can everyone see my screen? Okay ba? Okay. Okay, so paunahan mag-type, and I will, so as soon as the question is posted, you can type the answer. So, let's start, no? Kung sino yung mauna, siya yung mananalo ng no-code PH shirt. So there are 3 questions and there are 3 no-code PH shirts to be given away. Okay, let's start. Webflow was founded on the year blank. JC, sorry, but Nolly got it right. It's 2013. Yay, congrats, Nolly. I will send you a PM regarding how to claim your prize. Then, Webflow automatically generates HTML. Okay, JC wins. Actually, dapat JavaScript, pero sige. What do you think, guys? Should we I'll react. Okay. I will ask JP later if pwede yung JS or JavaScript. Okay. Last but not the least, sorry. Webflow is an American company based in blank. California, close, but not really. Okay, it's Nielsen who got it. Yay, congrats for winning your no-code PH shirt. So I will send you a PM, guys, regarding how to claim your prize. Okay, so right now, without further ado, let me welcome our speaker for today, JP Dionisio. So guys, he is like a real expert in Webflow. He's built more than 100 sites in Webflow. In fact, he won a global challenge, speed build challenge during the No Code Conf. So he went against like a lot of other Webflow experts and he won. So you really know that he's a Webflow expert. And he is the Webflow wizard at Beyond Agency. So without further ado, here is JP. Let's give a round of applause, please.
Hi guys. Hello. I'll be sharing my screen shortly. Okay. Yep. And then gonna give you guys access to this FigJam board. Basically, we're gonna do this event or most of the event in this board. So I'll be pasting yung link sa group chat natin, sa Zoom chat. So if you just click the link and maybe sign in your Figma account, you can access this FigJam board and participate with some of the activities. Yeah. So yeah, I can see people are popping in already. So yeah, we have Adrian, Jake, Anonymous, and John. Yeah. So yeah, sali lang kayo. But we can do this. You can attend this talk solely in the Zoom if you can't attend in the FigJam board. That's fine. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna introduce myself. I'm JP Dionisio and I'm the Webflow wizard of Beyond Agency. And these are some of my links. So you can connect with me in my socials here. And also you can hop in Spotify and see my favorite or my personal Spotify track kapag nagtatrabaho ako. Yeah. And also you can join Webflow PH where we share tips and tricks on how to build better websites with Webflow. And a bit of trivia like Japanese food. And nada de coco is my favorite toppings. And then I'm studying how to code right now. Medyo weird, no? No code, pero I'm studying how to code. But we'll get on that later on. Yeah. So here are some of the events ng Webflow PH namin previously. And this one is before pandemic. Nasa gitna. Okay. Just let me know if you can understand Tagalog or Taglish. We'll just purely speak in English. Just comment it in the chat. Okay. So yeah. So some few disclaimers. This will be just the basics of Webflow, not an in-depth, but we can go in-depth if the time permits. We have a lot of time for this afternoon. And this will be more about clarity. The main goal is to give you an idea of when to use and why should we use Webflow. And I won't be selling you stuff in this talk, don't worry. What I'll be selling to you is only Webflow, you know. And a bit of icebreaker for us. If you can use the stamp tool in Figma and click on the designer or marketer or developer on what identifies to you the most, that would be awesome. So that we can cater this talk more on those people or ano lang natin, customize ng konti. So you can press the stamp in the lower toolbar and then it will pop a wheel. Then click the sticker that you want and click the sticky note in which you identify the most. Okay. Or you can or you can press E, then go to the icon that you want, then press in the sticky note. Yeah. Okay, we have a few designers here and a developer. That's nice. I think we have a marketer then. Somebody tried to we can just copy a sticker by Command C and Command V or Control V, Control C and Control V, like copy paste. Yeah. Yeah. Some people are going crazy here. That's nice. Okay, so we have a few designers, a few developers, and a marketer. Yeah. That's good. Okay, let's move on. So here naman, if you get lost sa FigJam board, you can just click on the face sa upper right, yung mukha ko, para you can go to my view. So you can see what I'm looking at. Okay? So just click my face and you will masasundan nyo yung titignan natin. Yeah. So for the question, what's your biggest frustration in creating marketing websites, or what are you what's stopping you from learning how to create websites? Some of my very big frustrations that is I find code to be scary, and like coding is a very big wall. It's a very big challenge, and maintaining websites will be a nightmare because I don't want yung much hindi naman responsibilities, but much uh, commitments, because I don't like hosting stuff for people. I think what I'm trying to say is I enjoy the most is designing and creating stuff, not maintaining stuff. Yeah. And I don't know how to make secure websites. And I also don't know which is the best tool. So I did a lot of research, and I'll share to you what I came up with. Yeah. Yeah. Feel free to write your own frustrations when starting para makita naman natin kung ano yung mga pinagdaanan natin. Yeah, kasi I know people can relate to you guys. Yeah. Yeah. And maybe you're wondering, is this the talk for you? So lang naman yung prerequisites or qualifications if you want to know if this is for you. If you like creating stuff and if you're comfortable with working with a computer that is on internet, then yes, this is the talk for you. Yeah. Okay. And here are the main benefits of why you should learn, or why you should, kung bakit ka may kinig sa akin. Yeah. So sino ba to? Invite ako may kinig ako sa talk na to. So if you want to decrease the effort or the amount of time to make websites, then you'll learn how to do it, how to do that in this talk. And if you want to create awesome websites na magaganda without sacrificing design that is accessible, this tool will help you do that. And also, if you're a marketer that just want to create and launch a website without having the need of an engineer, this is also for you. Okay, so this is our main agenda for this afternoon. I'll be introducing Webflow. We're gonna share Webflow websites that are made by Filipinos and people from around the world. We're gonna have a chismisan segment, which is a question and answer, and a 5-minute break after that. Then we're gonna have a 5 minutes challenge. I'm gonna show to you the Webflow designer and explain the main components of it and next steps on what to do after the event. Then chismisan ulit. If you have any questions, you can just up on here in the chismisan zone and type in your questions. Then we're gonna go through every questions later on. Okay, so no questions will be left out. And if you're not in the FigJam board, you can just ask the questions in the chat, and we're gonna put those in here also. Yeah. Okay, let's go back to intro to Webflow. Okay, before we introduce what Webflow is, what is no code? So yeah, so these are links in FigJam board. If you just click them, it's gonna pop up the website link, and just click the the may ano kasi parang gate na si FigJam na, are you sure you want to go? Yeah, so it's sure naman. Yeah. So I'm gonna show you guys a quick video on what no code is. Yeah, punta tayo sa YouTube.
Today, the world runs on code. Every text you send, every website you visit, every screen you swipe, it's all driven by code. Code that only a fraction of the world can even understand. And that's a problem. Imagine if only 1 out of every 400 people knew how to write. Think how many world-changing ideas would have never seen the light of day. We'd be stuck in the dark ages. And when it comes to software development, we kind of are. So what if, instead of writing hundreds of lines of code to add new features to your website, you could just design them directly on your website? What if you could create the next world-changing product without writing a single line of code? That's the future for creators, and it's about to change everything. It's time to unleash the power of software development to everyone by making it visual, so anyone can harness the power of code to build a website, an app, or an entire business without actually writing it. At Webflow, we're doing exactly that. We're empowering creators to design, build, and launch amazing things. No code required. Welcome to the future of software development. Welcome to the age of no code.
Okay, so no code is not about destroying code. It's about taking out the abstraction or making it easy for everyone to harness the power of code without actually writing code. So if you notice in the other industries like illustration, they have Adobe Illustrator. For photo manipulators, they have Photoshop. For video editors, they have uh, DaVinci or anything else. And for motion graphics, they have After Effects and a lot. But for front-end designers or website creators, we don't have anything that fits in that. We don't have a visual canvas that we can create live websites. So that's what Webflow is. It's a visual canvas where we can manipulate code to create professional websites. So it's actually professional websites talaga siya kasi I'll show it to you later on how to manipulate or edit in Webflow and makikita nyo din in real time na nagbabago yung code. Yeah. So, yeah. So if you read this last paragraph, so yeah. It's all about no code is simply an abstraction layer over code, meaning it takes the fundamentals of code and translates them into simple drag and drop solutions, allowing creators to build modern apps and websites visually. Webflow may be a no-code development platform, delivering all of the functionality that HTML5, CSS, and JavaScript. But you don't have to worry. You don't have to know any of this programming language to jump in and start building. Yeah. So you don't really need to have like a prior knowledge on what code is, but it helps. Don't get me wrong. It helps to know what or how to code, but you don't need to know how to code to start with Webflow. Yeah, because I started as a graphic designer, then ngayon Webflow developer na ako. I don't have any coding background before I started Webflow. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So I'll be explaining to you what Webflow is with their homepage. What better way with Webflow's homepage, diba? Medyo meta, teaching Webflow with Webflow's homepage. Okay, so the main benefit with Webflow is the decrease of time or the amount of effort to create a website, and also not needing like a lot of engineers or an engineer to build a website. Yeah. Okay, so this is just a preview of what Webflow looks like. We're gonna go in later in the second half of the program in Webflow. Here are some logos that are using Webflow. And you can see that there are a lot of people that are using Webflow professionally as freelance designers or as agencies or even in-house marketing in SaaS applications or in basta madami, sobrang dami. So here are the three major target groups of Webflow. So designers, marketers, and developers. So for designers, this is gonna be like a little bit familiar if you're using Photoshop, because you're gonna have like a style panel here that you can use to edit your website elements. Yeah, and so you can drag and drop stuff there. And then for marketers, you don't need to go in depth in the project. You can just live edit the website and just publish it right there and then. So you can see here in the preview, they're editing the button text and then just publishing it. Yeah, it's just that easy to edit a website for the content. Yeah. Simple and easy. Also, that's the same way with images. You can just hover in an image and edit it. Yeah. And for developers, with Webflow writes semantic and clean code, and it's very standard compliant. You can also export the code if you want and host it in any place you want. Yan. Kapag in-export mo yung code from Webflow, wala lang yung functionality ng CMS because that's built in the Webflow ecosystem. Yeah, but you can also download the data of the CMS or the CSV data. Yeah, and also if you want to make Webflow like the platform that you want and add plugins or APIs, connect APIs with Webflow websites, that's also possible. They have a full documentation on it. You can just search Webflow API. Okay. If you have more questions, you can just put it in the chat or in our FigJam board in Chismisan Zone. Yeah. So if you look at Webflow, I think the first thing that you're gonna do is create a template. Gagawin natin yun mamaya, don't worry. But with templates, it's not just templates. And you can edit the template in however you want. And you can also start from blank. Yeah. Mostly when I'm starting a project, I already have like, well, it's mostly blank, but I'm gonna have like a starting style guide. But I'll explain to you that later on. Okay. So what is CMS? So CMS is like you have an Excel sheet of data and you're gonna connect that data into an element in your website. So you can see here in the preview, isa lang yung pinipili niyang element, pero lahat ng elements na or items na katabi niya na-update. So that's how CMS works. So kinoconnect niya sa Excel sheet or sa data content yung item and kung saan na nag-update yung buong Webflow website. Yan. You just need to link it in the corresponding items para ma-update or makita in live. Yeah. And for e-commerce, I'm not gonna talk about it or kasi hindi pa maganda see yung e-commerce ni Webflow. So I'm not gonna vouch for Webflow e-commerce. Yeah. If you want an e-commerce website, maybe go to Shopify. Where there are options in creating the design in Webflow and then translating that into a Shopify theme and using it in Shopify. Yeah. And membership, wala pang membership si Webflow, but it's coming this year daw. Yeah, so we won't talk about it. And interactions. So this is the JavaScript of Webflow. It's like using PowerPoint, well, kind of PowerPoint animations, but you can do so much more by creating custom animations. I can show to you that later if you're interested. Yeah. So you don't need to write JS to create animations or CSS. Yeah. But you can if you want. So if you want to read customer stories, you can click on the links there. And also this is also good for marketing. Yeah. As we showed kanina, you can edit the content live on the website. And also, if ngayon wala pang true multiplayer si Webflow, what multiplayer is having multiple people work on the same project at the same time. But right now, only the content editors can do that and a single design editor. Yeah. So there can be a lot of copywriters editing the website at the same time, but only a single design editor. Yeah. But they're working on that to make the true multiplayer happen. Okay. And then optimize SEO. You don't need to install another plugin like WordPress to have SEO in your website. And just to prove you that the SEO of Webflow is good, I'm gonna search Philippine Webflow. And then, ayan, so andun yung profile ko. This is another friend of mine, Scott. Not sure if nasa event siya. Just chat me. Yeah. Yeah, so you can see my website here. Nag-show up. Yeah, maganda yung SEO ni Webflow. And mabilis yung SEO ni Webflow nag-kick up. It takes like less than a day or two to kick up in the SEO. So maganda siya for marketing websites. Yeah. And then we won't talk about logic because hindi pa siya na launch, but this is more about connecting the forms and the CMS or yung data Excel sheet ni Webflow para kusa nang mag-update no need to connect with Zapier. But this is gonna be in the Q1 or Q2 of this year. Yeah. Yeah. And there are also built-in plugins like yung simple plugins like Analytics and Facebook Pixel that you can connect with Webflow if you need that for your marketing. Okay. So here's other customer stories. Yeah. Here are other samples. You can click na lang. And I'm gonna be more on highlighting Filipino-made Webflow websites later on. And these are some of the Webflow websites that are made all over the world. Yeah. Okay, balik tayo dun sa FigJam. And you can see, okay, so the first line, ito yung mga projects ko. Second line is there is CSJ's or Christian San Jose's projects. And this is Rafa's project. And this is Alexis' project. Yeah, so if you're familiar with Swarm, it's built in Webflow. I'm gonna show it to you guys yung iba-iba. This one naman is from my friend Kelv. They own, he's handling like an agency sa Cavite. Dati silang WordPress and ngayon full on Webflow na yung website sila. This is Bryle, another verified Webflow user in the Philippines. Works niya. This is Kat naman. These are for Gigil, for the Gigil company. Yeah. Dati siya nag-work dun eh. Pero ngayon, ka-work ko na siya. And these are other websites na gawa ng Webflow. Not Filipino-made, but yung mga the best na Webflow websites. So if you're familiar with awards, yung current awards voting page nila is made with Webflow. Webflow actually partner with awards to create the page. And it's really nice. So check na muna natin yun kasi maganda. Yeah. So ito, hindi to solely built with Webflow because may 3D stuff that's not natively with Webflow. You can add 3D stuff with custom code. Yeah. So it's very aesthetic. Yeah. Di ba si Webflow talaga hindi pa patalo kasi design yung main main feature with Webflow. Yeah. So that's just a glimpse. You can just look at that later on your own. And then I'm gonna show a bit of my websites. So this one, dito rin natively with Webflow. I added code to do this website. Yeah. So you can do things like this. I added JavaScript with this para maging possible to. And this is a combination of interactions and custom code. Yeah. Medyo proud lang ako kaya tatagalan natin dito. And the best feature here is you can download the image. So you click download, it's gonna download the image in wherever you want. Ay, na-download. Hindi na-download. Wala, nagbabag yata. Napahiya naman ako nitong gawa ko. Wait lang. Anyway, dati nag-work yan properly. Ayun, may naka-download daw. So that's nice. So it's for a marketing nung isang client namin. Yeah. And then I'm gonna share yung sinabing I joined like a Webflow competition and I managed to grab second place and ito yung grand finals. So this is made in Webflow. Walang custom code. These are just Lottie animations and combined with interactions with Webflow. Yeah. So Lottie animations are like SVG or vector shapes that are animated. with After Effects. Yeah. So there's a plugin that is made by Airbnb, and that's Lottie. So para hindi masyadong mabigat yung animations, you can do vector animations with Lottie files in After Effects. Yeah. Medyo di kinakaya nung laptop yung graphics. Anyway, hindi siya maganda sa mobile because we only did the competition in desktop layout. Yeah. So this is interactive with the mouse positioning. So if it's in the right side, it's closed. If it's in the left side, it's zooming in and opening. Yeah. Yeah. And then if you're familiar with UX Plus, that is CSJ's company, it's made in Webflow. Yeah. So you can really do professional made grade websites with Webflow. And then Graphica 2022 and the past Graphicas, I think starting from 2020 or 2019, I'm not sure. This one's made by Rafa. Oh wait, click the link in. It's really nice because it's a compilation of typefaces that are made by students, I think. I'm not sure. You can download them. And it's made in Webflow. Not the font app or the website. Yeah. Yeah. Not sure where you can download the font here if you want. And then swarm.work is wait, click the wrong thing again. Swarm.work is also made in Webflow. So I think Alexis did the website here. So if you're not familiar, medyo plug na rin. They have like Swarmageddon, which is like a competition on creating a product that's gonna happen between Feb 5 and 19. Close na yung application for solo people or yung people that want to be teamed up with others. So you can join lang if you have a team like group of 1 to 6. If you gusto mo solo nag-team, sige, pwede naman ata. Yeah. So you can apply here. Yeah. So you can win like the prize pool daw is 1,000 USD. Yeah. And then this naman is from Webworks, which is Calv's company or agency. This is for Max Collins. Yeah. Can create like aesthetically pleasing websites with Webflow because you don't really have any limitations in the sizing and anything and the colors. So it's up to you on how to make it look good. Yeah. Or come up with a design. And then it's for Shawarma Shack. Do you guys have any brands that you want to work with? Can just type in the chat. Maybe it's gonna happen, or maybe people right here can connect you to the right people. And then we're gonna hop in. Dito yung mga favorite ko talaga eh. So si Nicolo Miranda, he's nominated in the awards. Yeah, kasi magaganda yung gawa niya. So like this one, it's made in Webflow. It's like a newspaper style website. Yeah. And then this other one, also made in Webflow. If you have questions on some websites, you can just ask me and we'll tackle them later on. So you can really see that there are really a lot of variations in styles and animations in these websites. So this is custom code. Yeah. You can ask me if a particular section is custom code or not because I've tried everything, almost everything in Webflow. So this one's really nice talaga. I'm not sure if you can really appreciate it in the Zoom, but if you go in your own desktop, because it's think Zoom is capping the frame rate. Okay. And yeah, here are some features on why you should use Webflow. So Webflow uses semantic load and follows clean CSS practices. You can export the code if you want, and you can also input code if you want. Yeah. And there's no maintenance needed with Webflow. You don't need to worry about plugins crashing. So you don't really, if someone's paying you for maintenance, that's just them having ease of mind in their website. So wala ka naman talagang kailangan gawin. And if ever na nag-crash yung website or Webflow, you can just check status.webflow.com. It's gonna show you, I'm gonna post the link here. It's gonna show you the status of what Webflow is currently happening. Yeah. So big ano to, magandang feature to. Lalo na nung nag-crash yung isang AWS server yata. Yan. Kasi sa AWS naka-host si Webflow. Yan. And then there's no unreliable plugins, pero limited yung marketplace ng plugins. But you can put third-party plugins if you want. And complete design freedom. No need to learn to code, but I suggest to learn to code afterwards you're familiar with Webflow. Because ako di ko naman talaga alam yung coding eh. Pero it's made it so much easier for me to learn how to code with Webflow because na-familiarize ka na sa mga terms and elements ng website with Webflow. Yeah, so you can add custom code if you want. Every Webflow website comes with a free SSL certificate, and it's easy to update in content. No need to hire someone else to update it for you. And also the community is very awesome and very helpful. Okay, so when you should be use Webflow and when should do it not? Webflow is the best with marketing websites, portfolio websites, maybe front-end development, and high-impact or experimental websites. Webflow is not the best with e-commerce websites. News websites, typically websites with more than 10,000 items, web apps, and also you need to answer the question, does the business need a website? Kasi malay natin, gusto lang nila or kailangan lang nila is like an Instagram page, hindi pa website, diba? Maybe their market is more on that rather than a website. So in some cases, the client doesn't need a website. So yeah. So as we showed you kanina, more on marketing and portfolio websites. You can also use Webflow as a front-end development tool. Like gagawin mo yung front-end sa Webflow, then export mo, then you're gonna host it into your own server and connect your own backend. And you can also have high impact or experimental websites where you can do a lot of stuff and maybe win an award. Yeah. So e-commerce websites, hindi pa fully grown yung e-commerce feature in Webflow. That's why I'm not recommending it. And then may limit si Webflow with 10,000 CMS items, which is yung, think of it as one row sa Excel sheet. So that's one row is one item. Okay. So for most websites, hindi naman naabot ng 10,000. So that's not a problem. But if it's like a news website, that might be a problem. Yeah. And web apps, right now, wala pang logic si Webflow, so, and membership. So it's not really good for a pseudo web app because Webflow doesn't work with application languages. Yeah. Yeah. But one of the main goals of Webflow is to create web apps then. Yeah. So yeah. If you're lost, you just need to click the my face at the upper right. Okay. So yeah. If you want to draw, just join in the freedom wall and draw whatever you want or share any stuff that you want. Okay, nasa chismisan zone na tayo, which is question and answer. Okay, I'm just gonna hop in ano lang, the Zoom chat and see if any questions, there are any questions there. For certificate, I don't think so. I think Crystal can answer that one if we have an e-certificate for this one.
Not exactly, but I can like produce one, I guess. Canva lang, ganun. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Wait lang. Copy paste ko lang yung ano. Questions. Okay, these are good questions. Keep it flowing lang. Okay, so first question. Wait lang. Ayusin ko lang sila. Medyo OC ako eh. Is Webflow SEO optimized? Does Webflow support Yoast SEO and other plugins? Okay, so I'm gonna hop in quickly sa Webflow para makita natin how the SEO in Webflow works. And I'm gonna say it is very much optimized with SEO. The answer is yes. And I'm gonna show you how it works. Maybe in one of our projects. Yan, makita niyo magulo yung ano, gulo yung dashboard ko. Maybe not sa projects namin. Sa website ko na lang. Yeah. So this is the Webflow designer. Wait lang. It's loading pa. So at the left side, you can click the pages icon. And per page, it has the settings. Then dito mo makita yung SEO settings. So here, preview niya kung ano yung makita sa Google query or kapag na-search sa Google. Yeah. So you don't need to install plugins to have open graph settings in Webflow. And it's really good for SEO. So you can search my name or JP Dionisio. Yeah, so you can see halos lahat ng queries nasa akin. So yeah, so Webflow is really good for ano. So ito yung isang page ko. So yeah, Webflow is good for SEO. So yeah, let me know lang if you have follow-up questions. I'm gonna put like a sticker for the stuff that I've answered na. Yeah. Does Webflow has its own hosting services? Yup, pero walang tawag dito? Custom domain si Webflow. You need to buy your own custom domain in other websites or other services, other platforms. Then you can connect that in Webflow. And what's nice with Webflow is that it comes with a free subdomain. So every Webflow website comes with a free .webflow.io subdomain. So you don't really need to have a custom domain to launch your website. Okay. Yeah. Okay, nagtuloy pa siya. Question. For the process, do you start with Figma and review with the client and create in Webflow or directly work in Webflow? Yeah, for me, it's really nice to have a Figma file first. Kasi that's where it's much easier to manipulate stuff in Figma. And it's also great to see in the zoom out view kasi you can really see if things are blending well together. Kasi if it's just a single page, it's very hard. And it's also much easier to design in Figma than in Webflow. Yeah. So for me, I find it very easy. I find the process easier to start with Figma and then go to Webflow. But if you want, you can really hop into Webflow naman if that's what's comfortable for you. Yeah. And then, how do you start Litan ko lang. How did you start marketing yourself as Webflow developer? Or when did you become confident and started applying for jobs as no code dev? Hmm. Hmm. Kasi ako, I started, I think one of my marketing stunts is starting Webflow PH. So that's why, that's one of a way to market myself as a Webflow developer. And then I did events monthly. Kahit wala pa akong gaano kaalam sa Webflow, I just made or I did the events. I did the YouTube kasi may tutorial si Webflow and I did it in Tagalog in the events. So that's one way of establishing yourself in the zone or in the field kahit guguhan pa lang. You can do a lot of stuff naman, not just by doing events. You can start a blog or create clonables or create free templates. And one thing that I did then is create a website for my brother, which is Islap. Wait, huh? Wala. Hindi na ba na-publish yan? Ayan. This one. I made this website. Para this is like my portfolio piece or pinapakita ko for new clients. Yeah. Pero if note lang in the future is if you want, if there's a particular field that you want to work in, create that particular portfolio and you can use that kasi what you put out there is what you're gonna get in the future. Kasi kung wedding websites ginagawa mo, edi wedding website clients din yung pupunta sa'yo. So, yeah. So there are a lot of ways to market yourself, not just creating events or doing events. You can start doing kind of free work or what I advise you not to do free work sa mga di nyo kakilala. Yeah. Or if you're gonna do free work, it's gonna be on your terms, not on them. Okay. So yeah, so just 1 month in studying Webflow, watching YouTube tutorials. Kasi while watching the tutorials, I'm trying to follow them through. So I'm trying to learn as much by following the tutorials. So and I learn most by teaching. That's why I started doing the event. And also para makakita ng ibang Webflow developers because dati hindi talaga uso yung Webflow and wala din nagsasabi ng no code dati. That's why I started the group to find people like us. Let me know if that answered your question or if you need like a follow-up question. Yeah. For me, I want to host everything in Webflow because it defeats the purpose of using Webflow if you can host it there because for some people then or some projects requires you to not host it in Webflow, like doing a front end for an app. Siyempre, wala naman app functionalities Webflow. So, kailangan i-export yung code. Yeah. I think one project I did early on is yun nga, create the front end in Webflow and export the code. Then I just gonna give that to the developer and wala nang problema. They know what to do na. Yeah. So it's very easy to host then in Webflow. You can just click the check here and publish this website. It's gonna be published in the web. Yeah. And also there's a tutorial on how to connect custom domains, but excuse me, with custom domains, it's a paid option na. Yeah, we're gonna tackle pricing later on. Or if you want to ask it now, you can then. Yeah. Let me know if there's follow-up questions. Yeah. Kailangan. Medyo puno na yung yeah. If you have more questions, you can ask naman. Yeah. Or I'll put naman in the pile na lang. Okay. kailangan ba pro account para magka-pro tag sa public profile or okay lang kahit light account? Depends on what you want to happen. Pero you don't really need, yung first question mo, yes, you need like a pro account to have the pro tag in the profile. I think I have one because I'm a Webflow ambassador or community leader. That's why I have a pro kasi lahat ng ambassadors, they have like a free pro plan, pro plan with Webflow. So I'm not paying anything for Webflow. Yeah, so that's how you're gonna get pro, or you're gonna pay the pricing plan, account plan, which is the pro plan. Yeah, but when you're starting, let's go to pricing na then. If you're starting, you don't need like a paid plan naman. You can start with the free plan, which is 2 projects and 2 pages per project. And that's more than enough. You can do a 1-pager for yourself and another 1-pager for a client. Or you can use their email to create their Webflow account. So that in that way, you don't need to, you don't need to stack up on hindi mo puno yung project folder mo. Yung problem lang dun is yung security. You need to be paid upfront para bayad ka kasi nasa account nila or hindi mo makuha. Or gawan mo sila ng email tapos doon mo gagawin yung project nila. There are a lot of ways to work around naman. You don't need to pay for any account plans when you're starting. Get paid muna, then that's when you pay Webflow, okay? Kailangan kumita ka muna bago ka maglabas ng pera. Yeah, kasi pangit kung labas ka ng labas, walang pumapasok. Yeah, so get paid muna, then start paying Webflow, okay? That's the optimal way. Yeah, and you can check naman on the things that you need naman here. So mostly you're gonna go from starter to light, then from light to pro. Yeah. If you're in an agency, you might want having the team plan. But if you're in a company like marketing website, you don't need like an individual plan. You need like a site plan lang. Say with site plan, you need the site plan to connect your custom domain there. And hiraman na lang kayo dun sa account ng Webflow para ma-update yung site plan. Or you can have editors, which is this one for the second plan, which is the CMS plan. Yeah. If you have more questions with the pricing, you can add it na lang sa FigJam or in the chat. Let me know if I answered your question or tanong ka lang ulit. Yeah. Yeah. Pero may e-commerce website na rin ba na made from Webflow? Yep, there are e-commerce websites that are made with Webflow. Pero di ako familiar with them kasi di pa si Webflow kasi powered with Stripe and Stripe is not yet in the Philippines. Yeah, so Stripe. Let's check lang yung kasi matagal ko na tong tinitignan yung listahan ng saan yun? Global ba yun? Wait lang Stripe countries. Tama pala yung sinearch ko. Yeah. So yeah, ito tagal na yung Philippines dito sa preview pero naunahan na nga tayo ng iba pang countries dito. So yung Stripe wala pa rin sa Philippines. So hindi ko talaga masasuggest si Webflow kasi Webflow Stripe yung gamit for payments and hindi ka makakonect ng ng Stripe with Webflow kasi nasa Philippines tayo unless yung client mo is nasa abroad and they have a Stripe account. Yan. And yung pangit din sa e-commerce is sobrang basic ng functionality nila. So if they want to scale up with their e-commerce website, they can't do it like marketing stuff and a lot of integrations na wala pa. I'm not really the expert in e-commerce. That's why I can't really say. But if you want e-commerce, go with Shopify. And but if you want talaga Webflow, there's a program called Udesly, which will have like a starter template in Webflow that you can then use that Webflow project to create a Shopify template or Shopify theme. Then you'll now have like a custom built Shopify theme that's made in Webflow. Pero nasa Shopify na. Doon na sa Shopify naka-host. Yeah, so you can also check here the limitations of the adapter or the features. Yeah. Yeah. There are a lot of documentation around this. You can watch it in YouTube. Yeah. E-commerce is really big right now. So if you want a lot of money, start studying e-commerce. Yeah. Safe po ba si Webflow? Yes, safe. Safe si Webflow. I'm not very techy about the security, but you can check Webflow security. And see Kelb from Webworks. They're very techy kasi, and they said na it's very secure daw. So you're just gonna take their word for it, and I'll just copy paste the link over here so we can check the security of Webflow. So, yeah. So I'm not gonna read this to you guys. Yeah, you can also have like a meeting with them or email them if you have any questions that are not in this white paper. Okay. Yeah. Nawalan ba ng trabaho mga FE web dev if anyone learned no code? Haha, what are your thoughts on this? At first, I thought yes, but later on, I realized na more no-code tools will just lead to more no-code jobs, diba? If there are more no-code tools, magkakaroon ng no-code ng front-end jobs, diba? So that's not really a problem for front-end developers, and also this is gonna be beneficial to front-end developers then, because they might wanna create better websites or better design websites, or they might want to have like a full stack development, like you're gonna do the front end in Webflow and may back end there, so you don't need to really learn back end coding to launch marketing websites. And another story lang din dun sa Webworks company na dati silang WordPress, tapos mga developers sila, ayaw na nila mag-WordPress kasi sobrang dali na ng trabaho sa Webflow daw. Parang yung trabaho nila nangalahati, so they can get more projects and create better websites with Webflow. So parang yung income nila, parang more than double yung company income. Kasi more projects and more money, ganun. Let me know if you want a follow-up question for that. Okay. I'll look muna sa Zoom chat if they have more questions. Okay, that's answered for someone thinking start. Okay, so these are good questions. Keep it coming lang. Yeah, these are more for freelancing questions. These are really nice. Energize ako. Okay. Time check. It's 5 o'clock na. So sakto lang. So this will be the last set of questions. Then we're gonna have a Q&A then sa dulong huli. Okay. For someone thinking to start freelance work, you have idea? Do you have the idea of professional fee for a Webflow developer designer? Okay, so medyo may parehas sila ng question dito. So I'm just gonna group them. Okay. Okay, so these 3 questions are similar. So how much did you charge for your first website? Do you bill your clients per hour or per project? Yeah. Yeah. So for the fee, it's up to you on how much you want. Kasi I can't tell you how much is comfortable for you. Say what's comfortable for me might not be comfortable for you. And it's not about what your background is, but it's what you can deliver to the to the client. Kasi you need to do first na ano eh. You need to test your first if kung ano yung capabilities mo. You don't go finding clients without actually creating a website muna. Or you can, and you can hire na lang others if that's what you want. And for the fee, I suggest don't start too low and don't start what is too low. So too low is like 4 digits. Don't do that. I think for starting, it's nice. I don't want to give a number kasi baka isipin nyo, ito lang yung kaya sa But you can start working your way up to maybe 10K, then 20K, or 25K, then 50K, then 75K, then 100K, then 125K. I was up to the point na I wasn't accepting projects lower than 100K or lower than 6 digits. So, but that didn't happen because I was very adept with Webflow. It happened because I was able to do the sales interview better or do the negotiation better. I'm gonna link to you like a workshop that I did before about pricing strategies. Wait lang, hanapin ko lang. Medyo segue because I think this is gonna be very helpful for you guys. It's in line of it. So you can watch the recording. It's in Taglish. Yeah, so nandito. And this website is, of course, made in Webflow. Yeah. So this is how to create your winning proposal. Yeah. Yeah. And it's more about the negotiation or the sales interview rather than your capabilities when setting your fee. And you can say no naman to projects that you can't do. Like for e-commerce, I always say no to e-commerce because I don't enjoy e-commerce and I'm not really familiar with e-commerce. But if you want to take the challenge, of course you can. Yeah. And how much did I charge for my first website? So my first website is for free dun sa kapatid ko, which is yung Kislap Weddings. And second, later on, kasi di pa ako magaling mag-negotiate nun, was 20K. Then tumawad ng 15, then tumawad ng 10, then tumawad ng 5, then yung 5 na lang nabayaran sa akin. And after that, sobrang na-frustrate ako. Inaral ko talaga kung paano mag-sales interview. And that's why I was able to land 6-digit projects by then, after done. And I think a good source for this is Jonathan Stark. Yeah, Jonathan Stark. Stark. Yeah, may YouTube video din siya, so you can watch Jonathan Stark. And then, do you bill your clients per hour, per project? Per project, because mabilis daw gumawa eh. It's not very, and yung per project kasi, I have like, you'll see in the proposal, I always have 3 options for the project. So it's like, too small, just right, and too high. So yung medium project, yung medium price yung gusto kong piliin nila. So minsan yung too small is yung budget nila, then yung gusto kong price, then yung if they want to add stuff pa is yung third option, is very high price. So commonly they pick the middle price. Yeah. But don't put a price that you can't work with. Okay? One way to check if okay sa yung price, if kapag nagtrabaho ka na tapos naiinis ka sa project, ibig sabihin, lugi ka, mas mababa yung price mo doon. Yan. Kasi kung nahihirapan ka sa project tapos di ka naman nagalit, ibig sabihin, sakto lang yung price mo, di ba? Pero kung nagalit ka, kung nahihirapan ka pero masaya ka, ibig sabihin mataas yung price mo. Yan. Yan. How competitive po ba ang mga no-code devs versus devs na nag-code? Di po ba malimit ang tools ng no-code devs? What do you mean? Can you elaborate this further? Kasi I think what I'm understanding is if nag-aaway ba yung no-code devs and devs for projects, but mostly yung habol naman ng clients is yung output ng project. They don't really care how you made it. What they care about is the results, the outcome of the project rather than how it was implemented or how it was done. Yan. So dun sila nagmamatter. Yun yung pinaka dito? Goal or benchmark ng clients if they're happy with the project or not. Kasi later on, they're gonna see if the website is performing well or not. Like there are a lot of click-through rates or a lot of clicks or submissions. Pag tumaas yung submissions, then that means that you did a good job. Or depende sa goal na gusto nila or sa business needle na gusto nilang i-move. Yan. So, I don't think it is an issue na no-code devs and devs that are fighting for jobs because for me, it doesn't matter kasi the outcome is always the one that's the benchmark for the project. And you can see naman other projects then have like specific tools that they want, like Webflow developers because that's the project that they have, or that's the tool that they want to use. Or you can see naman they're gonna write naman if they need like no code expertise or not. Yeah. So you don't need to, and you also want to ask them then why they're not hiring a custom developer rather than a Webflow developer. So yeah, so that's gonna give you an idea then on what the project more about. Is Webflow already in demand in freelancing? I'm not sure, but website developers are always in demand because as we know, everything's going digital now. So that na, well, compared to before, hindi pa kilala si Webflow, wala pang konti pa lang yung demand sa Webflow. But right now, it's on the rise. Like, ang daming nag-hire ng, may mga Webflow developer na jobs na nakasulat eh. Dati wala talaga. Ngayon, like 2 years ago, wala talaga. Pero ngayon, may makikita ka ng Webflow jobs. And test lang natin sa I think sa Caliber, I'm not sure. Say there are few companies na nag-hire or they have Webflow websites na and they have they want, ano ba ito? Yung nakasigning. Webflow jobs. Yeah, so yeah, you can see jobs that are looking for Webflow developers or designers. Dati wala makitang ganito. And then, yeah, I think it's in demand. Yeah, I think because I'm not in the freelance market right now. I'm in-house Webflow wizard in beyond that agency. Yeah. But I was freelancing before. Do you market yourself as a Webflow dev or as a FE dev? Magpo-produce naman kasi ng code either way. I market myself if needed as a full stack designer. Yeah. So, yeah, type ko lang. Full stack designer. So I can design and develop websites. And so that's what a full stack designer is. But they don't really know what that means. So I just market myself as a website designer and developer. Depends on who I'm talking to. Yeah. So i-cater nyo yung nickname nyo or yung title nyo sa kausap nyo on what they're gonna attach to the most or what they're gonna, kung mas maintindihan nilang name. Okay. So I'm just gonna move this lang. All right, it's much cleaner. So yung mga may links. Okay, this one, pricing. And this one, tapos na. Tapos na, tapos na. And gonna move that here. Okay, I think we have questions pa. Pero we're gonna go back to them later on. Okay? Let's have muna a 5-minute break and tambay muna kayo sa sa Freedom Wall natin. You can put post-it notes or draw whatever you want. Okay? So 5 minutes starting now, which is 5:13. So 5:18, we'll be back. Okay? Yeah. Pili lang sounds. Gusto niyo? Walang tubig. Okay, I think kakatuwa naman yung mga drawing ko. Nandito yung mga ibang artist friends, Albert, Clay, and Mish. Or I think meron pa ng iba. Yan. Nice. Okay, so moving on na tayo. Dito na tayo sa 5-minute Webflow challenge. If you want to be like a Webflow wizard or a Webflow ninja or a Webflow master, then going through this challenge will be your first step on being one. Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna be creating a website in just 5 minutes. And also in just 5 steps. So the first step is sign up or log in in Webflow, then create a new project, choose a template or start with a blank template, customize your website, then publish your website live. So we gotta do that in less than 5 minutes. So yung oras ngayon is, let's say, 5:20. Okay? Or let's hit na lang 5:21. If yung seconds are tumama na. Yeah. So we're gonna do that in less than 5 minutes. Okay. Starting now. So I'm gonna go to Webflow. Since I already logged in, I'm gonna log out, then log in back again. And then it's gonna go to the dashboard of Webflow. If it's in your account, it's gonna have like a blank page. And you're gonna click the new site button. Then you can choose a template that you want or start with a blank one. Pero we're gonna start with a free one. Hanap tayo ng templates na libre. Ito mapili. Ito na lang. Wait, may nakita ko dati. Free. Search free. Ayun, startup free. And then use for free. And then we're gonna give it a name. No code ph-test. Then it's creating the site. Gonna wait for a few seconds. It's gonna load the designer. Usually doesn't take a minute to load up the designer. Then we can edit the website. You can just double click ph website. This is the best community to learn about no code with fellow Filipinos. Then we can add like a button if you want. Then let's say Salina. You can edit that button. Just say header. Header. Give it some spacing. Change the color background. Maybe let's just try red para makita nyo. RAM and 1 RAM. Yeah. And then if you want to publish that, you just check this. Since may free subdomains Webflow, you can just publish your site just like that. Then we're gonna wait like a few seconds. Yeah, and then click this arrow and it's gonna open to your website. Yeah. So it's already, responsive because the templates in Webflow are already responsive. So that's what, less than 5 minutes. Just nga 3 minutes lang. 2 minutes pagpipili. 1 minute pag-edit. Yeah, so that's how fast it is to create a website in Webflow. Pero syempre, yun yung with templates. Yeah. With custom websites, it can reach up to like a 5 to 10 pager can reach around a week or two, depending on the complexity and the design of the website. Yeah. But you can really do like a one pager in just a single day. Like for example, I did like a free website or a promotional website for a charismatic org, which is this one. So I did the design in 4 hours the night before. Then the morning after, I developed the website in 4 hours. So this is that. So it's like an event page, a promotional event page, or kasi wala nang in-person event. So parang siyang brochure in an event. Yeah. So it's, hindi nyo halata, comics yung style. yung website or ng event. So you can see the program schedule. And this is made in Webflow. Sessions. So this one naman is an image na nilagay lang sa Webflow. Activities. So there's a slider. And you can also have custom fonts in Webflow. Oh, cool. Si Nilsson is an SFC and CFC. I'm an SFC. Yeah. So that's one way to create a website. And I'm gonna explain to you the parts of pwede bang mag-preview before mag-publish. I'm just gonna answer this quickly. And actually, ito na yung preview. Ito na yung preview kasi this is the website na mismo. You're creating it in the designer. So you can preview it here if you want ma-preview yung live talaga. And you can click the eye. So, yeah. You can click the buttons if it's connected. Yeah. So that's the preview in Webflow. But ito na mismo yung website. You're creating it in here. And yeah, simulan na tayo sa components ng Webflow designer. So this is the designer. Some people call it the canvas, but I think it's more proper to call it the designer. And on the left side, you can see here yung pages. So you can also access the pages at the upper left or at this icon right here. So you can see all the pages that you have right here. Yeah. And then here is the elements panel or the layouts. I don't really use this because I have my own layout system. So you can drag buttons from here. Or you can do what I did, which is the shortcut key, Command E, para makita yung shortcut nito. And you can click the cog icon and check what you want to do with it. So I usually have this unchecked and add element is checked. So I can type button, then it's gonna show up. And I press enter, it's gonna show up in the designer. Okay. I can also do like a grid. If I want a grid, then magkakaroon ng grid. Magkakaroon tayo ng grid. Yeah. So that's how easy it is to add elements in Webflow. You can drag and drop or you can just type it out. Okay. And this one is the layers panel. So every element is in here in the layers panel. The hierarchy is very important because it determines the layout of your website. So for example, if I want the button to be in the grid, I can either drag it from here and put it inside the grid, or you can also undo Command Z or Command Z, or you can drag the button here and place it over the grid. So that's how easy it is. Okay. And then you can also see or you can also expand every layer that there is. Yeah. I usually just click here and see the layers here. So that's like the DOM tree for developers and the layer panel for designers. So this is called the navigator. And then next one is the pages, which you're very familiar with. You can just click the page and it's gonna go to the page. Yeah. And this is the CMS panel that I was talking about earlier. So it is like an Excel sheet of data or data. Yeah. So per item, it's like one row in the Excel sheet. Yeah. So you can update this and it's gonna reflect instantly on the website if you publish it live. Yeah. I'm gonna try to find the blog here. So para makita natin yung effect. Wait lang. Blog. There it is. Okay. So right here, these are linked to the CMS, which is our database. So hindi ko siya may edit kasi you need to edit it in the database. Hindi mismo dito sa designer. Okay. So if you want to add a text or another title na ganito, we can instantly add that. So we added the text. I just want to change the color to white and then adjust the font size. You can hold Option or Alt to drag the font size. Then one trick in the height or the line height is to put like a dash element or 1.1 dash na pixels. So it's gonna be responsive to the size of the font size. Then once we have this text here, we can select it and get the text from whatever element or whatever item or data we want from that item. For example, the job title or maybe published on. Yeah, so it's gonna show up in every item in your collection list. So that's how easy it is to connect data. So since these are two collection lists, hindi siya nakita dito sa baba. But since these are the same sources of collection lists, I can just copy paste. It's gonna update. And di sila pare-pareha sila kasi pare-pareha sila ng date na nag-publish. So let's just change that to just change the text from a different one. Maybe the name again or the summary if you want. Yeah. So that's how easy it is to connect the CMS in your Webflow website. Yeah. Okay. And then we're gonna go on to the right side kasi this one is e-commerce na. We're not gonna talk about it. Left side follow muna tayo. So these are the assets. You can upload here your images that you want. And you can also drag and drop from your Finder or for your File Explorer to your Webflow website in the designer. It's gonna upload automatically. These are some settings. And this is an extension by FinSuite where you can add more functionalities, but you're not gonna go much deeper than it. So right here on the right side is the styles panel. So as we saw earlier, dito natin na manipulate yung data or yung elements in the designer. So you can do different stuff. Yeah. You can also do like hover states. Like for example, if the mouse hovers on an element, dahil may green hover na siya, it means ini-style na natin yung hover state niya. We can change it to red if you want. So let's go back to none. So pag nag-hover tayo, nagiging red siya. Yeah. Or maybe if you don't want that, you can go back and click this blue tag, then reset it. So ngayon, wala na nangyari kapag nag-hover. Okay? Yeah. So there are a lot of things that you can do. You can increase the padding, increase the margin, increase the size. Yeah. You can find everything in here. So this is like the CSS panel for developers. This is the CSS stuff that you can edit in Webflow. Yeah. If you hindi mo hanap yung CSS na gusto mong i-edit, you can also add custom code, but this is for paid accounts na. Yeah. Like wait lang, code muna tayo ng konti. No click. Yeah, so I added like a class name, no click. So this is like an H2. So nasa yung embed natin. Mapapakita na yung coding skills ko. Don't judge. So on H2, with a class of no click. And I'm just gonna open that. And pointer or background color na lang. Ground. May inisip nyo, ano ba to? No code nga, pero nagko-code siya. Napakita ko lang yung capabilities ni Webflow. So, mali yung code ko. So, this is a string nga pala. So, kailangan, yan, tama ba? Hala. Pinapahiya ako ng... mali yung tag name ko. Okay. So, tama lang na read siya. Yeah. It happens a lot sa code na mali sa coding. So, yan. So, you can add custom code if you want. Pero, that's for more advanced stuff na. Yeah. And settings, these are dependent sa element. So yeah, you can quickly change the H1, H2, H3. And so nakita nyo, dahil naka H3 yung code, hindi siya nakikita, hindi nag-affect yung code kapag naka H1. So Webflow is really compliant with the code. So you can even export it later. Yeah. So these are all the styles that we have. So yung mga developers, napansin nila, bakit may uppercase and spaces? Webflow instantly converts that to lowercase and yung spaces to dashes when it's published when it's published. But in my practice, I always use dashes and no uppercases para it's easy to code and copy paste stuff. And this one is the interactions panel where you can animate stuff. So for example, this one, when it's scrolled into view, we want it to slide from the left. Yeah. So if you click the preview icon, it's gonna slide to the left. So, and you can also control. You can also control kung saan mag-trigger yung animation. If we want lang sa desktop and above or sa maybe sa phone lang natin gusto. But most of the time, parang bigger animations are only applied to the desktop kasi hindi siya performant or hindi maganda yung performance in the phone kapag masyadong maraming animation. Yeah. Oh, by the way, you can actually go to this link now and see for yourself na hindi fake si Webflow. So gonna share the link and you can guys go to the link and see the websites. Yeah, baka sabihin nyo, joke lang yung ginagawa natin. Okay. Anong time na ba? So yeah, we have more time pa naman. And then, so this one is yung code exporter. If you want to export your code for some reason, you can just click here and it's gonna prepare the code for you. So it's now loading the code. Yeah. Nakalculate niya pa. Also, kasama na din yung assets sa pag-export. When you download the code, it's gonna be in a zip file. Then everything is in a neat folder. Yeah. So let's just try that now. So it's preparing the zip. And yeah, medyo hindi na matagal pero sakto lang. And download the zip. And take note lang is if you download the code, hindi sasama yung CMS functionality niya because this one is built in Webflow. And yung e-commerce functionality din. So if you open the zip, makikita natin yung folders niya. So this is the open folder and this is everything na makikita nyo. So everything is neatly organized. Yeah. Okay. And then we're gonna go dito naman sa taas. So this one naman is yung breakpoints ng device. So right now we're designing at the desktop, which is size 1344. And you can also edit the canvas right here. So 1200 desktop pa rin yan. So we can see the breakpoints of the desktop. And what's nice about here is if you go to the tablet, maybe you want this color to be red na. I'll just take out the joke kasi nasa nga pala, sa custom code yung I'll just delete muna yung custom code. Yeah. So for example, sa desktop, gusto natin size niya is 3 rems for the size ng font. Then pagpunta natin sa tablet, gusto natin mas mababa. Siguro 2.5. What's gonna happen is yung styles o yung 2.5 mag-cascade pababa ng breakpoint. Kasi sa desktop, naka 3 pa rin siya. Or sa tablet and mobile landscape and mobile portrait, makikita natin na 2.6 siya. So pag kinlik natin yung size dito, makikita natin kung saan niya in-inherit. So makikita natin yung tablet icon and yung class name na pinagkukuhanan niya ng size or ng property. And also, segue lang, sa lower left, we can check the CSS preview. Yeah, so I'm just gonna move this muna para madali makita. So dito sa size, you can check. Mali yung naselect kong element. CSS preview. Subpage title. Oh. Okay. Hindi siya nag-update. Sa desktop kasi. Okay, desktop. Yan. Yan. So makikita natin, nag-update yung CSS live. So if you nakikita yung font size, this one, in-edit natin, nag-update siya live dun sa CSS. So it's actually code without writing code. Code without code. Ganun. Yan, medyo naguluhan na eh. So, yan, 3 rem. So that's basically what Webflow is. I'm gonna hop in sa chismisan natin and see more questions. Yeah. So that's the Webflow design. Grabe natin. Okay. I think sa Zoom chat natin may more questions. I'm gonna scroll back lang. Okay. Discussion and yung preview before publish na answer na and the Google Fonts question. If you want to ask more questions, just write it in a sticky note or as in the Zoom chat. Okay. And then, so yeah. So I think ito munang Google Fonts question. Since we're in the designer na. Paano mag-import ng fonts? Font Awesome or Google Fonts? So for fonts, you can just go to the project settings and go to the fonts tab, which is this one. And then if you want to upload the font, you can click it here. And this is the following formats that it is supporting. And TTF, OTF, EOT, and WOF. Basically the major font types. So just click it and upload your font. Then you can also get Google Fonts. Google Fonts are free, so we can just go to Google Fonts and check what fonts that na gusto nyo. Then find it there na lang in the Webflow settings. And if wala dito, then or if na-host ng iba, you can also host it through CSS. So font CSS import. Yeah. But that's medyo na to eh. Tawag dito? Hindi to. Medyo advanced na yan. Pero you can naman eh. Tawag dito? Upload your font. Wait lang. Nagugulo na ako sa yan. You can most of the time upload the font kasi medyo custom yung mga websites namin. So that's not really a problem. Take note lang na the more you upload, the slower your website's gonna be. So usually yung target sa website is like less than a megabyte or less than 3 megabytes ganun, per page. Yeah. Para maganda yung performance. Then you can also add here a font. Maybe ano maganda? Let's just try B612 mono. Then you can check which variants that you want and maybe regular lang. And it's gonna be added here. Then it's just gonna go to designer. Then wait for it to load. And select the element that you want to change. Go to the font. Then you're gonna see B612 mono. Yeah, so that's how easy it is to add a font. Okay. So see, select may tanong and yeah. Yung sizes din ng image sources need i-take into account para sa performance ng site. Yep. So that's why we're usually designing in Figma. We also desktop yung main main size na pinag-design sa Webflow, yung main breakpoint. So usually it's 1440 yung width ng desktop. So kapag may image ka dyan, yan yung i-export namin. So you select the image and export as PNG or JPEG kung ano yung needed. Then export it as 1 times. Then that's what's gonna be uploaded in Webflow. You don't need to create images for smaller devices because Webflow already takes care of that for you. Sabi ko lang dito yung nandito yung assets and images. So if you can see here, sa dinownload nating template, Webflow creates like variants for different sizes ng images. Okay. You can see the wait lang. Open ko lang isang ayan. You see yung how do you call this? Extension names. And so hindi yan isa lang yung asset na yung upload diyan, then nag-create na sila ng ng different variation para performance yung website. Yeah. Okay. Then saan tayo? Okay, somebody asked Webflow versus Fix versus Weebly. Okay, so Webflow has a page na So saan na yun? Ayan, Webflow versus di pala nakalak pala yung mga links. Sorry. May-click naman. Tama ba? May-click pa kahit lock? Hindi. Fail. Anak ko nang later. Pero si WordPress, ay si Webflow, meron siyang sabihin yung bias, pero these are all objective. Yung mga nakasulat dito. Wala yung bending the truth or anything. Webflow has versus pages. So this is versus Webflow or versus WordPress. And makikita niyo yung different what do you say? Strengths and weaknesses nila. So these are Squarespace and Shopify. So they don't have Wix and Weebly because I think it's more friendlier. Hindi siya, mas konti yung capabilities niya or mas user-friendly si Wix and Weebly. If that's what your client needs, then go for it. And if di naman needed ng very much custom design, then go for it. Webflow is not the best tool for everything. Very niche and for the niche job that they do, they're doing a very good job. Yeah. And you can also search on sa YouTube din, maraming mga versus comparisons. If you have a specific question dun sa capabilities ng two platforms, ask me lang sa specific feature. Then I'm gonna look into it. Okay? Yeah. How to integrate, sorry, dito sa nagtanong, wait. How to integrate Adobe XD with Webflow. So there's no direct integration like from Figma to Webflow. Walang direct link. You need to do everything again. Well, hindi naman do everything again because it's a different platform. Kasi they are following different set of rules. But there are some plugins na I don't really trust that says na magko-convert yung design mo to Webflow or something like that. Kasi they're not following standard web practices. Pero there's no integration right now directly na mag-integrate from Adobe XD or for Figma to Webflow. Dati nagkaroon ng beta tool na magli-link yung assets. That's why I'm gonna share this na lang. So, pwede import from Figma sa mga lang beta users. Pero hindi ko na ito ginagamit kasi it's a bit buggy. So pag in-update mo yung symbols sa Figma, mag-update yung assets mo dito. But I don't use it because it's kind of buggy. Wait, bago to responsive variants. Hindi ko na i-click. No? Actually, bago tong responsive variants. Ngayon ko lang nakita. Pero di na i-click. Siguro low pass lang sa update. Anyway. So yeah, there's no way to integrate directly Adobe XD or Figma with Webflow. Okay, saan po ba usually pwede mag-apply ang mga no-code developers? Sa Upwork po ba marami? Right now, I don't really recommend Upwork because mababa yung pay and you're seen as a commodity. If you want to do freelance work and you want to be seen as an expert, and putting yourself in Upwork won't make you look like an expert, in my opinion. If you're gonna go in Upwork, set your price as the highest price possible. In that way, you're gonna be seen as the expert. So it's either you're in the highest or you're in the lowest. Everything in the middle, hindi pinapansin. Yeah. Let me know if that helps or if you have more questions. Wait. So you have 9 minutes more. You just ask any questions that you want. Feel free to, whether it may be freelancing, Webflow, pricing, or anything in between. Sorry. Let's check ko muna yung natin. Freedom wall. Bahay ni SpongeBob. Okay, there's a question. How did you start your own agency? It's not my own agency. I'm an in-house designer, but maybe I can answer it na rin. If you want to start an agency, you need to know what your strengths are. Are you good at managing, designing, developing? Then try to freelance or there are two major ways. You can either start freelancing, deep dive to freelancing, or you're gonna go to an agency, then learn their ways. Tapos you're gonna go into building your agency after that. Yeah. So I think the most or the safest way is to work muna under an agency so you can see the ins and outs. Maybe you can intern or maybe even get a real job. And after you learn the ways on how the money works, then you can start your own agency na. And for freelancing naman, for starting an agency on your own, you can start with freelancing, then connect as many people as you can with clients and with other professionals, so you know who you want to work with, and also where you want to work with, or what clients you want to work with. In that way, you're slowly building the foundation of your agency without even starting your own agency. And if you're gonna start an agency, don't register it first. Try it muna. Then if it's a success, then when i-register. Or that's not legal advice. Don't take me on this. Yeah. Did that help ba, Nolly? Yeah. Follow pala din sa saan makakuha ng work. I think I can say na kahit saan makakuha ka ng work as long as it's two options naman eh. It's who you want to be known for, or what market or which people do you want to serve. So if you answer one of either of those questions, you can find your way na. Find those people or find those market. Try mo punta kung nasan sila and ask them a lot of questions without asking for anything in return. Maybe you can start like a free website with a free template. That's not a bad deal naman. Kasi ginawa ko lang yung website, di ba? 5 minutes lang. What more pa kaya kung sa nila? Maybe a full day can do it, or kung gusto mo, it's a full week if sobrang ganado ka talaga. And maybe in 1 month, you can do like 4 projects for 4 different with the free template. Diba? And even with a free template, you can charge people with that. Say they're not really looking at the free template. You can say that it's a free template. And this is the price for that. And this for a custom made website, this is gonna be like a times 10 or times 5 price for that. Yeah, there are a lot of ways to price things naman. Let me know if you need a follow-up question for that. Yeah. Time check lang natin. Yeah. So I think this is gonna be the last 2 questions. Then gora na tayo. Baka may branding course ka or tips lang. Look for the future. And so YouTube for branding courses. Libre lang yan. And tips ko lang is don't look at international design. I don't look at local designs, look at international designs or kung saan naman gusto yung client mo para ma-align yung taste nyo sa projects. Okay. How to become a Webflow ambassador? Okay, so let's go to Webflow community. Right now, naka-on pause yung application for Webflow ambassadors. So if you go to, I'm gonna post it here, Webflow community, you can see here, and which one is it? Partner with us. This one. You can click this, and it's gonna take you to a type form, I think. Yeah. And you're gonna answer that lang. Oh, not, is it this one? Oh no, it's not that one. Wait lang. Tinanggal ba nila? Well, dito ako, di pa updated yung stuff ko. Tinanggal ba nila? Partner with us, join a group, attend an event, contribute a resource. For this. I think it's this one pa rin, partner with us. Or no, maybe tinanggal na nila muna. I think they're revamping the community of Webflow. That's why wala muna. Pero dun ko nakuha yung dun sa link na yan. Wait, i-unlock ko lang yung mga bagay-bagay dito. Sorry. Wait. Kailangan isa-isa i-unlock. Ano ba to? Explain ko na rin yung resources dito bago tayo matapos. Oh no. Okay, I think yung mga nakalak pa dito. This one. This one. This one. So you can go to my Spotify checklist. Checklist. Playlist. Okay, so na tayo. Yeah, the future for branding. That's a good one. I'm not familiar with Patty Ross, pero I'll check it out later. Payment methods ng pag-upgrade into promote ang Webflow dito. I think card pwede. Any major cards? Yeah. Kasi I think they're using Stripe, pero you can use your card naman. And if you're asking for payment ng ano, for clients, I usually do wire transfer if it's abroad, then bank transfer if it's local. Okay, so, oh, sorry. Quick run through. So here are some socials that you can join for learning digital stuff like Webflow or no code stuff. And then these are courses that you can go and check out in Webflow University. So you can learn more about Webflow or read a lot of stuff about Webflow. And these are YouTube channels that you can really learn a lot of Webflow. And these are sites naman where I'm trying to learn how to code or I'm teaching myself how to code. So one website or one project that I did this week is this one. So if you can see it, it's JavaScript. So you can do a lot of fun of stuff. Yeah. Anyway, so I think that's for me. Crystal?
Okay, thank you so much, JP, for doing this. So everyone, let's all please do the clapping hands emoji.